Hey, welcome. We are live on Colorado Chronicles. I'm your host, Sean Murphy, and this fine Thursday spring day in Colorado, we've got a lot to talk about new developments. Going to talk about the uh, transgender protection bill that was just passed by our governor, Jared Polis, and going to talk about some fun things to do, fun things happening out in Colorado this summer. At the end, I'm gonna start a new segment of this Colorado Live. I'm gonna give you a spectacular place or some spectacular piece of history. It's something to know because Colorado, it is riddled with awesome things to know, learn, and check out. I've been here for over 17 years, and I'm still amazed by all the nooks and the places to discover. Like this weekend, Memorial Weekend, I'm going out to Twin Lakes. Have not ever been there yet. I don't know what's in store for me, but I'm sure it's going to be one hell of a time. So, hey, as you guys jump it on, this is a great time to ask your Colorado questions, and I will answer your Colorado questions. So, definitely drop your questions below if you guys have anything. If you're thinking about making your way out to Colorado, or if you're visiting, just looking for something fun things to do, this is definitely the channel for it. So if you guys are live with me, do me a favor, let me know who's on here. Where are you watching from? Say what's up. I love chatting it up with my YouTube homies, and we do this every Thursday at 6:30. Every Thursday besides the last Thursday of the month. So we are one away from the last Thursday. So this will be our last Colorado Chronicles of May. But let's have some fun. We're gonna get into a couple great topics. Let me know who's on when you're jumping on, and if you guys are watching the replay, you can't make it with us live. That's cool. We still accept you for who you are. I know, especially on beautiful days like this, sun's not going down till 9 o'clock, and it's tough to be inside at this time. So thanks for jumping on with me. Oh, we got DJ Forecast coming live from us from San Antonio. This guy, how's your I know you're selling your condo townhome out there in San Antonio. How did that go? Cool. Well, we're gonna get into our first topic today. As you guys jumping on, say what's up. First topic, we're gonna talk about the new development happening because over in Wheat Ridge, right there, right in the corner by Applewood. That's where they have the new Lifetime Fitness. They also put up the new hospital over there. So the old 92-acre hospital site that's been not abandoned, but it's been vacant since August has got a new owner after hundreds of applicants, hundreds of inquiries for this site, and many proposed plans. E5X management has been approved to transform this 92-acre site into 1,200 to 1,500 new residential homes over the next 5 years. So they bought the former campus from Intermountain Health Lutheran Hospital over in Wheat Ridge. Now this is just 3.5 miles from the really beautiful new hospital that they made. But since this has been sitting vacant, they've been looking for a new owner. So E5X plans to sell residential lots to builders so they can construct low density residential homes around the perimeter of the campus. Now, that's a mandate by the local planning code. And then they're going to have higher density housing towards the center. Also, in the center, they're going to have like shops, restaurants, open spaces. Now, they're going to be breaking ground on this project in this fall, and they're super excited because the developer of the project, he used to live over there in Arvada area, and he said this is where he would go when he would break his arm. So a lot of fun stuff going in over there. I mean, that is a huge area, and west of Wheat Ridge, we're seeing a ton of new development over there, kind of right between Wheat Ridge, Arvada, and Golden area, right by over there by the Coors Brewery. And so this is going to be a lot of new housing for Wheat Ridge and Arvada. And what's cool is, I mean, like that whole northwest side, even though it's been a great place to live, you're close to I-70, you have easy access to the mountains, and Arvada, since they put the, downtown, Old Town Arvada, they call it. There's been a lot of great things going on over there. It's a fun hang, but especially since they put the light rail over there, making it just a much more accessible town of to the city of Denver. DJ forecast says 51 days on market. Great job. Price drop was 205, dropped to. Oh, you have been on the market for 51 days. Price drop 105, 197. Yeah. How many showings are you getting weekly? That's typically how I'm not giving you advice. I know you have a realtor, but how many showings have you been getting? I tell my clients, if we're getting 3 to 5 showings a week, we know we're in around the right spot. So if you weren't getting that, it's probably um, right to go ahead and drop that price. I'll show you on the map here where that new development is going to be. So uh, the area I was referring to that you're seeing all kinds of new development is right here north of the Colorado Mills. This is where you're seeing the new hospital. You're seeing the Lifetime Fitness blowing up over there. Also right by Applewood. If you're not familiar with Applewood, really cool area over there. A lot of nice, awesome houses over there. And even though it looks like it's super close to 58 and 70, it's a quiet neighborhood back in there. So this is where the old site was, just north of Crown Hill Park, and they made their way yonder west. So next up, I want to talk to you about the new bill providing legal protections for transgender individuals in Colorado. Now, this is called the Kelly Loving Act, and this is as a result. Well, kind of stemmed the conversation stemmed from the mass shooting at one of uh, Colorado's. Can I call it a gay bar? Is gay bar? What would be I think it's called a gay bar. But so there's a mass shooting there, and uh, Governor Polis signed the bill. Bill, what was the bill number? HB 25132 provides legal protections for transgender individuals. And I get it, but I have an opinion. What I don't like is Section 2 that provides when making custody decisions and determining the best interest of child for purposes of parenting time, a court shall consider dead naming, misgendering, or threatening to publish material related to an individual's gender affirming health care services as a type of coercive control. A court shall consider reports or coercive control when determining the allocation of parenting responsibilities in accordance to the best interest of the child. So that I have a problem with that. Um, just the courts coming in to tell parents how to parent. I could just see a situation where one parent is on board with with the child's decisions and one parent is not on board. And so if the other parent not on board, saying it's phase, saying whatever, right or wrong, but that feels like that's treating that like a second rate parent, and they could lose custody over that. The other section to know is the public accountability. So sections 7 and 8 define dead naming and misgendering as a discriminatory act in the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act, and it prohibits these discriminatory acts in public places of accommodation. So it doesn't say exactly what the punishment will be, but you're basically only allowed to use, their legal name if it's for like in real estate, right? And I need to actually use their legal name for legal reasons. So let me know what you guys think about this. This is kind of unique to Colorado. I don't know a lot of states that have pushed this far as to protections for transgender individuals. Are you for it? Do you feel like this is um, constricting your freedom of speech? You know, Governor Polis is kind of treading on those waters, especially with the gun ban, not gun ban, but the gun permitting requirement for pretty much any weapon with a detachable magazine. So again, I'm not like this example here. I'm not saying you're taking away rights, but you're definitely impeding. You're treading on the waters, Governor Polis. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. You think this is a good thing? Of course, you want to protect people, but also you definitely don't want to start restricting people's rights. Our next topic of conversation is just I want to talk about this one because one of my DJ forecast is one showing overall. Um, we'll pray for you, DJ forecast. Good luck out there. Um, but yeah, as your is summertime's coming, you always want to go out, hit a patio, hit a strip, have some fun, get hit an area that's super walkable. And this is one of my favorite areas, right around Broadway and First. So the property at 76 North Broadway, home of the Hornet. That's what I always go over there for. Amazing breakfast, a great late night food. This area has been purchased. So this building with 18 offices, Lucky News Noodles, and a bunch of parking behind there, it has been bought and purchased for 3.3 million. What I thought was interesting about this is that the seller, Three Pillars LLC, bought the property back in 1996 for 416,000. You cannot even get a home in Colorado anymore for 416. I mean, you might. There's some, but they're not many. So super interesting. Of course, nothing's going to change. They're not going to develop the building. Just want to report in that hey, there are some new owners on the block. What's up, Christian White? Checking in with Allie down in Austin. Get a lot of Austin and get a lot of Texas calls lately. And if you guys are trying to beat the heat, make your way up here to Colorado because Texas is heating up and Colorado real estate market is absolutely heating up. If you guys are on with me on Saturdays, like your boy Christian White down there, you will see that we are having more and more homes hit the market. Right after Easter, we had 57 new mountain homes hit the market last week, 97 this past week. So when people ask me, when is the market get going, it got going. We are rocking and rolling. So if you guys are looking to make your way out here, you have questions on specific areas, that is what I do. That is how I make my Skrilla. That is how I feed my handsome beast D'Artagnan out there. So definitely reach out to me. And if you guys are on with me live, help a brother out. We're trying to get this seen by more people. I know you guys like the chopped up, the throws in here. Chop my bad habit. Chopped up version. These make great shorts and everything like that. But if you guys are on with me live, do me a favor, give me the thumbs up on the video. And if you like watching this, you want to make sure that you're notified each time we go live every Thursday, except the last Thursday of the week of the month. Definitely hit that bell so you'll be notified. Sean Murphy live on Colorado Chronicles, uncut. Well, somewhere in Colorado, uncut. What's the weather down there and you just got it is hail season. So you are not different than Colorado in that sense because you've heard of Tornado Alley. Well, Colorado is Hailstorm Alley. Every spring this time of year, where it's just starting to rain, like rain, it's still a little snow at sometimes in the mountains, depending on your elevation. We'll still get a little snow if you're up over like 8,500 feet of elevation. But it is the time of the year that the skies, they are not holding that humidity. So as soon as that rain falls from above, it is cold and it turns into hail. And out here we have the biggins, those big meteors of hail that will beat the shit out of your roof, beat the shit out of your car. So if you're making your way out here to Colorado, definitely get the comprehensive coverage for your car. Don't just get the liability, or else it's almost unavoidable. You will just be out driving and you will get stuck in it. You'll be running into Target and the storms can come in pretty quick. And all of a sudden now you're driving around with a car that looks like a Titleist golf ball. Both trucks getting fixed. Yep. Tornadoes. Yeah, I think there's 5 tornadoes out there in East Aurora. So I always tout up Colorado. Hey, we are pretty immune to natural disasters. We don't have hurricanes. Well, we definitely don't have hurricanes. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have many tornadoes unless you go out east. We don't have, I mean, wildfires is our big thing up here in the mountains. But other than that, like natural disasters, we're pretty immune. I guess wildfires are, it's a pretty freaking big deal. It's a hot topic out here. But yeah, they did have 5 tornadoes out there in East Aurora. And my buddy, my business partner, Kyle Wong, was flying back from New York as they were coming through. So that's crazy. Other topics I want to hit you guys up today. Oh, yeah, we don't have the plague of mosquitoes like you guys have out there too. So a nice day like this, I get to open my doors, let that Colorado breeze in here because Texans, you guys are like, how? One of the biggest concerns is like, does this house have AC? And I'm like, no, and you won't need it. And I always get the side eye and be like, what do you mean I'm not gonna need it? I'm like, I'm telling you, you don't need it. And I prefer not to have AC because when you have AC, you have the house all closed up, right? You don't want to crack your windows or anything like that. But here, you just open your windows, let that Colorado cool breeze come through. You're hit not only with a nice cool breeze, but also that beautiful Colorado air. Can't get enough of it. But yeah, if you guys have questions too, if you don't have questions, you just like to hear me talk, that's fine too, guys. I'm here for you either way, but I am available if you guys want to talk about anything. We are going into my least favorite season in sports with the Nuggets out of the playoffs as well as the Avalanche. Now we just have the stinking Rockies who are horrible, which I really don't care. I don't, I want the Rockies to be good only because I want the city to be happy, but I could care less. I've gone to Rockies games before and not watched one pitch. I'm just there for the hang. So a ball game is always good, but this time between basketball season, hockey season, and college football season, it's like, are we there yet? I'm ready for it. So, but it is absolutely uh concert season, and we have some of the most amazing venues out here. Red Rocks, obviously, world renowned Red Rocks. For every artist, it's a dream to sometime play at the amphitheater here, and I have the gift of it being 20 minutes down the road, which is super awesome. The problem is, I was looking up tickets for Incubus because I saw Incubus about 10 years ago at Red Rocks, and one of the most epic, amazing shows I've ever seen. So I went and looked at tickets because they're coming out here in, I think, in June or July, and holy crap, tickets were, for the cheapest seats I could find, were over $300, $300 up to $1,200. So you know who's not going to Incubus this year? This guy. You know, not that I'm poor or anything like that, but can we agree for a 3 hour show? That's too much. I could go to Mexico for $300. Like, what are we doing with these ticket prices? But we do have amazing venues. If you're not going to Red Rocks, we have one of the lesser known ones that I'll tip you guys off to. Mishawaka. It is up northwest of Fort Collins area. It is in a canyon, and it's a little bit more of an intimate setting. You're definitely not going to have Incubus there, but you can catch some like B level artists, some of those underground artists thrown down up there, and it's an amazing scene in the canyon right by the river, and the light shows are bouncing off the rocks. So it's super awesome. Hey, all about roofing. $300 is getting swindled. Uh, DLW. Am I not cool? I thought Christian said I was cool. Christian clearly stated that I am cool. But I don't know what DLW means. Went to Golden, had lots of great beer. Well, beer tastes better in the mountains. That is a scientific fact, based on the survey that I have done over and over again. Well, when I'm in the mountains, Beer tastes better in the mountains. Beer tastes better after a couple ski runs. Christian said 6 lap dances. Okay, guys. No, okay. We got the boys club hanging out tonight. All right, this is cool. Speaking of beer, the Great Divide Brewery presents Denver's first brewery and paddle court hub. Do you know what a paddle court is? I didn't. I was like, what is this? But the Great Divide Brewery is going to be doing some renovation. Now, the plan hasn't been approved with the city, but they don't see any reason why it shouldn't be. But this is Great Divide. It's an awesome hang over there in RiNo area. And they are going to be putting in plans for, I think it's 6 courts and their giant facility. So their 6,500 square foot facility at the corner of 35th and Brighton Boulevard will accommodate either 6 indoor and 6 outdoor, or 5 indoor and 6 outdoor courts, depending on the final design. But they definitely have the room for it. And I was like, I don't even know what this is, because accordingly, I'm not cool Christian. It says the paddle was a fast growing sport that blends elements of tennis and squash. Has seen a huge surge in popularity across the United States, making it fitting for RiNo, because RiNo's so fucking cool. So the concept is still under review by the city, but I can't see why it's not going to happen. And I know what you're all thinking. Sean, what is Paddle Court Hub? Well, don't click off my video because I'm going to show you here. And it is kind of like pickleball. So I can see how paddle and pickleball both caught the wave here. You can see, look, it's going off the back wall there. And they said this is a fast growing sport, started in 1969 in Mexico. So it looks like almost like indoor, you have soccer, outdoor soccer. This looks like indoor tennis, and a lot faster of a game because things can just bounce off the walls. Look at that. What the hell? Yeah, I have never heard of this before, Christian, either. So I'm definitely going to go down there and check it out when it gets going. I'm sure you reserve a court and you get to play a couple rounds. But what a cool hang. They have a 65,000 square foot facility, and this looks just like the place to put it down in RiNo. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. I hope the plan finally gets approved. All right, talking about the Renaissance Festival. Now, if you live in Denver every fall, well, midsummer and fall, they have the Renaissance Festival down in Larkspur. So that's southwest of Denver, and they've always had a elephant like performance. All right. So elephants come in, and animal activists are saying, nay, they're saying stop it. Stop stomping around. Animals rights lawyers based at the University of Denver are threatening to sue Colorado Parks and Wildlife if the agency issues another permit for a elephant show at the annual Renaissance Festival in Larkspur. Now, the Trunks and Humps, who is the exhibitor, says this is more of an educational show, but state law prohibits elephants being used in traveling animal acts. So there's that law that says that this shouldn't be happening. But I guess they've still been doing it, not on the low, because elephants are hard to hide, but they have been doing it, and now they're demanding that they stop it. So neither the festival nor Colorado Parks and Wildlife have commented on it, but it looks like the elephant experience might be no more. Sorry, y'all. Let me know what you think if you guys have gone down to the Renaissance Festival. It is a great nerd hangout. It is great. Not LARPing, live action role play. And what's it called when people dress up in costumes? Um, Cosplay, yeah, cosplay type stuff for Renaissance. So it's a very fun hang. You can get the big turkey leg and just gnaw on that. So everyone's in costume, I like a good no reason festival, and Larkspur is a great hang. So I recommend not going in the summer because it is exposed and so freaking hot down there. I recommend trying to go during the week when there's way less people, and if you can catch a day when it's not nearly as sunny, um, highly recommend. But it is a good time. Staying on the topic of animals, I found a few fun animal topics for you guys today. So you can have a traveling elephant. Uh, you can't have a traveling elephant. No, I wouldn't say festival show. You can't have a traveling elephant show, but you can in Colorado have a pet kangaroo. And if you live in Durango, you might have seen this one kangaroo hopping around because this is the second time this same kangaroo has gotten out. Now, the first time that he got out, they were able to nab it in the cutest way possible. An officer came up with a big burlap bag, and the kangaroo hopped in it just like it was its mother's pouch. How freaking adorable! However, this time they tried the same thing, and the bag was too big. So the kangaroo, or the bag was too small. So the kangaroo is getting bigger, and so you had this officer that says he's a wilderness boy, and he cornered him and picked up this poor kangaroo. So they're hoping that the owner can keep this kangaroo um contained. That is pretty cool, right? They're hoping that they can keep the kangaroo contained because they know in a year or two this is not going to be possible when the kangaroo gets as large as a man and can kick, stomp, and you know, uh, pose more of a threat. They could weigh up to 200 pounds. That is a grown ass man. You guys, it reminds me. Have you guys seen I know, it's super adorable. What? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's find the kangaroo's name since Christian wants me to. Let's find. No, I'm sorry. I have no name for the kangaroo. That's lame. Yeah, the kangaroo has a name. Let's call it by its proper name. But don't assume it's gender because we have the new discrimination law against dead naming or misgendering the kangaroo. So be careful out there when you start throwing around names, Christian. That sure is something. Going into, I thought I had one more animal. Nope, that's the animal topics for the week. Now this Burning Man statue is making its way to. Well, it did make its way to Colorado. This was a the kangaroo's name was Irwin. That's cool. Um, oh, I thought that was the officer's name on the page. I saw Irwin on here. All right, I believe you. Thank you, Christian White, for being a sleuth. The deer kangaroo Irwin, that rascal, that little rascal, keeps getting out. So keep him under wraps. But this 58-foot statue. Now this was out at Burning Man, and I love how this was explained. So Carla I'm going to butcher her name, Fieria, the chief executive officer of the Aurora Highlands, commissioned all the park's permanent structures. She said, "When I first saw Liberty at Burning Man, I was deeply moved. I knew instantly it belonged in the Aurora Highlands. All I can imagine is her just tripping balls looking at this 58 foot Liberty statue and being like, "We must have it." And I was like, "Oh, well, how much did we pay for this 58-foot statue?" And the price has been undisclosed. So that means a shit ton. This is going to be dwarfing the 25-foot sculpture titled "Broken But Together" that was installed last year. So there are a lot of permanent artworks over in that area, but this one is going to be towering. That is absolutely insane. and I just love her thing. When I first saw it, I was blown away. We're like, yeah, yeah, no shit. You were high as a kite. All right, next up. Oh, this is a dog story. So this was the other animal story here. The man pleads guilty to starting the Bucktail Fire in Montrose. I know you guys, um, Montrose, you want to call it, but people call it Montrose. Montrose County, by trying to cremate his dog. And this is kind of a sad story, but Brent Garber was 64, pleaded guilty to attempted arson. Now, this started a huge fire, burning 7,200 acres. Luckily, it only destroyed one building and no deaths. But this poor man was trying to take his dog to cremate him, and he was caught because minutes after the fire started, investigators saw him driving out of the area, and then they found a personally burned dog and a large rock with the words October 17th to July 2024, Rocket, rest in peace, etched into it. Super sad. So you feel bad for the guy. Uh, not only does he lose his dog, but he catches a felony. So due to be sentenced in July. I hope that the judge goes lenient on him. Um, I know you burned down 7,200 acres, but we've been doing so much to contain fires. I think Mother Nature needed a win there. So please, judge, be lenient on him. Oh, and I'm going to finish up here talking about the Great Sand Dunes. So I'm going to finish this off moving forward with a little segment talking about a specific Colorado place that is just world renowned, super awesome, super unique. Or I'm going to give you a little bit of history on an area. Now, if you are in Colorado and you're looking for a great vacation for a couple days camping trip, highly recommend it. It's a little bit out of the beaten path. Down in the San Luis Valley, we have the Great Sand Dunes. Actually, let me pull up a map of the San Luis Valley. I'll show you guys how big of an area this is. So it is down in central Colorado, south central. So here's the valley. Nope, nope. Yeah. Okay. So here's the valley. So you get mountains all around this valley here. So legend has it, 10,000 years ago plus, it used to be more of a waterfront with, all the runoff coming from the mountains. This was like a giant water area in the San Luis Valley. It's basically like a big bowl in there. So I was down there. That's actually where I started my journey in Colorado, down in the San Luis Valley, working at a gas station right off of 285 in Alamosa, working at a gas station and running because it's a super flat valley at 7,500 feet elevation, but it was all underwater at one point. And what happened when it all dried up, all the crushed rock and sand by the high winds was blown to one side of the mountain. So some of these are over 750 feet tall, and they will never look the same because the winds are always shifting them and changing them. So absolutely awesome. You can see the Medano Creek coming through here. Medano Creek is a seasonal creek that'll come through icy cold water as you cross this to get over to the dunes. Super fun to, well, I don't know if they're super fun to walk up, but it's a big freaking hike, and they're super expansive when you get to the top. A whole lot of false summits walking up to the top, but then just running down them as fast as you can is super fun. And then some people, you can rent at the outpost there. You can rent little like boards to kind of like sled ride down them. It does look like a painting. But that's what I'm saying. It's absolutely ridiculously beautiful. It is kind of out of the way, and there's not a whole lot to do in the San Luis Valley. But if you're looking for an adventure, definitely go out here, and I'm going to give you a few other things that you can go there. So you can go there. You could check out the Medano Creek, but also you could go check out the Medano Trail. So the typical way to get to the San Luis Valley would be coming down by Walsenburg and taking 160 past Fort Garland. You're going to hit Alamosa. If you want to hit the dunes, you're going to bust a north on 150 here. It'll take you straight to them. But if you want a little bit more of an adventure and you have an off-road vehicle, highly recommend right before you hit Walsenburg, you're going to go up 69 and there is a primitive trail that you'll break off to, and it'll take you right through and hit the back end of the lake here. So there is a road. You can see the road here goes right through here. You definitely have to have something. You got to let the air out of your tires. You have to good tread on your tires. But you can kind of rally through this on the road. It's really fun. And there are all kinds of great campsites. So there's primitive road campsites with bear boxes because I when I camped there I did see a bear, but the drive is absolutely epic, amazing. You're totally in the wilderness and then you have all kinds of great camping back in there. You drive through areas like this that have been burned through at some point, but highly recommend if you're up for it and you have the vehicle, you can rent vehicles too to go do this. Check out the Medano Trail. Yeah, I know exactly where that is. That's basically the deepest water that you're going to go through, but you pass a whole lot of creeks and definitely check the road conditions before you go up there. Sometimes they go and they will oh there you go. They have little mile markers for getting through them. Yeah, there's your camp spots with the bear box there. Put your items in the bear box so you'll have bear friends visiting you and you don't really want that. Um, the other thing to do in the area is hiking up Zapata Falls. So Zapata Falls is a 30-foot waterfall that's nestled in the crevice of um, this little canyon, and so it's not much of a hike. And you drive up to it. It's only about a mile to get into it, but it takes you a little bit of time because it's like rocky. At one point, you're walking through the creek, um, but really cool to hike through that. I'll show you here where it is. So it's super close to the dunes. So these are the dunes. You see how much territory that covers. These are all the sand dunes. Crazy. It goes forever. But when you're coming up 150 here, right before you hit the sand dunes, you're gonna see this road and you go zit 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 and you're gonna get up to the Cascade Falls. So really cool, and especially if you go early enough before it really starts and you shimmy here on this and then climb up this part and there's another little part, that landing area. If you're freaking tough and cool like Sean Murphy, you'll crawl back in there. But absolutely epic little hike, a fun thing to do. And this is what it looks like in the winter. So that is not photoshopped. It looks like that cool. DJ forecast. It does look This looks like a painting too, right? And nature is super cool. So in that valley, they also have a gator ranch. They have UFO sighting posts. Apparently, there's a lot of UFO sightings. But also, I'd say in that valley, you meet a lot of interesting characters that might have, you know, they're the type of people that get sucked up by UFOs and get probed, if you catch what I'm saying. But when it's like this, you can just hear the rushing water. You can't see it, but you can hear it. So it's a really cool thing to do, even if it's early on before the rest of the snow has melted. And then the last thing you could do if you are really wanting to get after it. So Mount Blanca Peak, it is right next to this. Now, this is something that you're going to want to camp out at the base right by Como Lake there. But it is Colorado's fourth highest peak. And you can hike all the way to the top of it and you get absolutely ridiculous views of the of the valley, San Luis Valley, and of course all the other peaks. Now, some people can, if you have a really you have to have a super outdoorsy car to get up there because most vehicles can only get about You're only gonna get about like this. This is what the drive looks like. You're only gonna get about a mile and a half driving, but then you're gonna get out and you're gonna be on foot patrol. It's a 17-mile round trip. Now you're not going that crazy of you're not gonna go that crazy of an elevation change because you are starting at 7,500 feet up to you're probably about like 6,500 feet elevation change, but it'll take you a full day. So you want to start out before the sun comes up, and then the reward at the top. A killer bulldog asking, "Is this a real estate or a different show?" So you might be asking about the Saturday live stream, Killer Bulldog 420. That's a very Colorado name there. But the Saturday live stream is where I walk you through every new mountain home to hit the foothills market. That is Saturday at 8 a.m. So if you want to come back this Saturday, I will definitely be there live from Twin Lakes to be reporting on all the new hot, sexy homes to be hitting the foothills market. But look at that. So it does start out it's not too bad getting up, but then that last section there, you're basically just climbing over all this crag rock, like the aggro crag on Do you have it? Go Who knows that one? But, yeah, hey, if you as you guys are here, before you head out, do me a favor, hit the like button if you guys appreciate these Colorado tales, Colorado Chronicles. I didn't realize till last week, Colorado Chronicles has chronic in there, and I think that's very Colorado. 420, are you with me? Today's show, Colorado Chronic or Killer Bulldog, this is called Colorado Chronicles, where I walk through new developments, new developments, new news, excuse me, to hit the Colorado market. So, new home developments, new laws impacting Colorado. I'll talk a little bit about things happening at the ski resorts, events, things like that. So this is more like the news. I am the news. So if you want to learn everything happening in Colorado, this is where you want to tune in. But on this same channel, we have the Saturday live stream as well. If you want to see all the neighborhood tours, Killer Bulldog, you want to see the neighborhood tours, pros and cons, everything like that, then you will go to the Somewhere in Colorado. This is uncut Somewhere in Colorado. Our regular Somewhere in Colorado channel, that's where you'll have all that real estate information there for you. So hey, so thanks so much for jumping on the you guys. If you're watching the replay, still give me the thumbs up on the video. Leave a comment if you have a question, and you guys can reach out to me a couple of different ways. You can go follow me right now. You can look at your phone, and you can go over to Instagram and follow your boy Rocky Mountain Murph on Instagram. And if you guys have questions you want me to answer live for you here next week, or the Thursdays that I have the video every Thursday except the last Thursday of the month, you can send them directly to me at sean.murphy@moxiepropertygroup.com. And if Killer Bulldog, you have real estate specific questions, you can reach me. You can hit me up on the Sally at 720-679-5445. And that is all I have for you guys. I'm going to grub, and I want you guys to have a super awesome day. Can you talk about how City of Denver being broke gave huge raises to a few employees, ooh, and furlough everyone else? I did hear about that. I did not look too far into the details, so I will make it a point to cover that in our first Thursday of June. I'll cover that. We'll dive in deep for you there. So appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great Memorial weekend. I hope you guys do something fun. And if I don't see you Saturday, I will see you the first Thursday of June. See you. Love you. Bye.